catching. Both seem to play pretty high speed, like to use those big arms. Lots of counter rushes, lots of pre-throws, lots of counters from both sides from my knowledge, watching these teams in the past. Very, very excited for this one.
BC, very much a province that loves that free ball game style where they're going to throw one when they have four so they can keep three for a defensive play. Valkyrie a little more reliant on those team throws. They love to make a team play. So I'm very interested to see how those styles are going to match up. Yes,
very East Coast versus West Coast styles here. Lots of BC teams use that single ball while they have four balls, but Valkyrie sometimes even like to use three when they have four balls. Big opening, Pelletier taken out. 6 on Valkyrie's side. They have 4 balls, let's see. They only spend 1, going a little West Coast.
Interesting choice because they're up players.
Riel Leaf, big throw out of the middle.
Yeah, and you're going to see that all day from her. She has an absolute cannon. Part of the reason why she won MVP at the World Championships in mixed foam.
Cynthia Lee survives a double. As we said, Valkyrie are going to be looking to spend 2, and I think Cynthia Lee is going to be one of their biggest targets. If not, probably Riel. Jenna Flanagan, great block. 6 for Valkyrie, and 5 for Hyper. Throw's going to come out of Flanagan. She's going to find her target. Nice straight throw, gets under the block.
Yeah,
and
Leaf
is going to take that left corner. I do not want to line up against Leaf in that left corner. I do, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited to play her one day, and I feel like somebody who definitely reminds me of Riel on this Valkyrie side is Katie Curry. Claire Curry.
I agree. They have that big wind-up, that height that gets them the leverage. And they use 2 from Hyper to take out Flanagan. Great target selection.
Yes. I'm sorry, Claire. If you're watching this back, I'm sorry. I'm a little tired and hungry right now. Yes, 2 massive arms on both sides. 2 very, very tall players as well. 4 here. Cynthia Lee's going to find Curry. And that follow-up from Hyper is going to hit as well. It's a very, very even game here. Hyper now have the advantage.
Player to watch on Hyper too that probably doesn't get as much attention as she should is Field in the middle. Absolute incredible catcher. And when that comes online, Hyper just has this momentum swing that fuels them.
I flinched there. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe you guys saw that on camera, but balls have been coming straight at the commentary area all day. Veronica, straight throw on Leaf. Does not connect. Still a 4v3. Good survivability from both sides here. Throw out of the middle. Veronica shuts it down.
Oh, and they
Cynthia gets low. Veronica pops up. Nobody can grab it. Lynn Kirkpatrick also taken out in this exchange.
And I was just about to say, Nick, 43s are so fragile. It's kind of whoever makes the first mistake.
Oh, and a triple.
And
Leaf and Cynthia Lee connect.
Absolutely. And you see Valkyrie, they chose to invest the 5th. And suddenly, the ricochet of events, you see Baird and Kirkpatrick gone in the exchange with that ball control let go, and Hyper just capitalizes immediately.
Hyper do a very, very good job at staying alive at the line. Definitely useful against a team who like their counters. Both teams going to go for a defensive rush. That is something I've also noticed today. There's a lot of teams are really playing defensively off this rush. Good, in my opinion. I think they're treating the club championships more as a marathon than a sprint, which definitely it is. 3-day tournament here on Dodgeball.live. You should tune in every day, see some action.
Yeah, and it's also such a good sign of respect when you think, oh, this is going to be a really tight strike matchup. And we see Flanagan remove Leaf, high value.
Big, big hit from Jenna Flanagan here. 4 balls for Hyper. Spend 1, connects with Sydney Doyle. Pelletier calling herself out. 4 balls for Hyper. 3 players. It's a 3v5. Hyper spend 1 on Shade Berkeley. She's going to survive.
Lee with a good block.
That's super, super low,
That's
too.
super low. Valkyrie's getting a little more aggressive.
Definitely.
They're taking those pre-counters in the windup.
They definitely don't want Hyper being comfortable at the line. Because if you let Hyper be comfortable at the line, they're going to kill you.
They have too good of arms.
Their arms and their movement at the line, if they can get a full step into that throw and process that counter coming in, they're very, very good at the line. Cynthia Lee, another big target hit out. I believe that was Flanagan with a big cross court again. Now Jessica Gray. Flanagan, 3 hits in this set. Definitely being the difference here.
Yeah, and that was a very quick 1, 2, 3, closing the gap. And that's kind of how Valkyrie works, too. They love to build off that momentum, take opportunity shots as they open up, and they kind of make mistakes avalanche.
Definitely very, very good at picking on other teams' mistakes. Valkyrie, a very, very experienced side here. They know what it takes to win this tournament. They were champions in 2022, I believe. So definitely going to try to win this year, as everybody is. Leaf takes the on Curry. Curry gets tagged out by the follow-up. She's not paying attention.
And a
Sun
double.
reaches for it. It's going to be a double. Valkyrie catch Hyper's back line sleeping, as we said, taking advantages of little mistakes. Cynthia going all the way across the court. 3 very big dodges after a pre-throw on Shade Berkeley.
And she knows that they want her in that situation, so she's using that opportunity to create a little chaos.
Creates the chaos and manages to survive, which lets her take a solo on Jessica Gray. It doesn't connect. Ooh, that had a lot of power on it.
Yeah, Cowie, no slouch when it comes to her throw, absolutely. And Leaf makes a great block.
Oh! Sydney Doyle! Phenomenal catcher. Does what she does best. Takes a throw at Leaf. Cowie has to be one of my favorite women's players to watch. The movement is insane. I remember the Quebec Cup, I think 2020, I want to say 2023, the first time that I was facing off against her. That was really, really fun. She's very, very hard to hit, and she has a great arm to follow that up with.
And, you know, hard to hit, great movement, fun to watch. Also, great smile.
I was just going to say,
time.
does it with a big smile on her face.
And
as she takes out Leaf, it's going to be 2 players left for Hyper.
Oh, and it looks like Leaf is holding her nose. She might have taken a face shot there, too. These are foam balls, but when they're thrown at high velocities, they can still hurt.
2 are spent on Cynthia Lee.
Doyle baits that ball in from Brooks.
Brooks decided to spend there, but they still have 4. Let's see if they decide to spend another 2 on Cynthia Lee here. Only 1 spent. Throws back and forth. Gray and Lee both throw at each other.
Maybe this is a hot
connects.
take, Nick, but in this scenario, when you're up 6-2, why not throw all 3 on 1 target?
Definitely something that I like to think about, especially with someone as good as Cynthia Lee, who's very good at surviving on 1 ball and even 2-ball plays. Sometimes that 3rd ball can be the difference, and you have 5 players to tank maybe 1, maybe 2 hits if the other team has all 6 balls. I do think that that would be a good play for this Valkyrie side right here.
It's aggressive, but you kind of have the time to be aggressive here. You have the bodies to spend, more or less.
Yes, with the time, the bodies, even the scoreline here, it's 1-1.
Get a confident close on the point.
Definitely, and a big hit like that can definitely give a team like Valkyrie some momentum going into the further points.
And what great pressure from Cowie here, just creeping up and letting Brooks know, like, I'm here, you can't take that cross.
As I said earlier, very, very annoying to play against. Very, very fun, but cannot take your eyes off her.
Hyper has 5 balls.
1 ball put into Shade. The coach of that 2024 women's champion side at Worlds.
Yeah, Valkyrie.
Gonna take a rip at Cynthia. Big block by Cowie there in the air, twisting her body to get that ball in front of the other one.
And you gotta think at this point, Brooks and Lee are probably starting to feel the exhaustion a little bit.
Definitely. They've been on for a while in this 2v6 scenario here. 1 spent on Brooks. Cynthia's gonna take the counter on Doyle. Doyle blocks. Cynthia with 1 ball gets under the ball with Jessica Gray. 4 balls for Hyper. Valkyrie definitely making Hyper work for this. Something I really like about how Valkyrie. Oh! Pocketed by Doyle. Second catch in this set. As I was saying, something I really, really like to see from Valkyrie. Again, big movement, goes all the way across the court. Cynthia's very, very good at using the space that she's given.
Yeah, not afraid to slide. And noted, Curry and Cowie switching. And that's what you can do when you're up players. Give someone a rest. Let someone else pressure for a little bit.
Yes, for sure. Especially having a big arm for that cross angle is definitely very useful. Cynthia's going to go for a grab there. Gets tagged out.
Not
all
a bad
3 balls
move.
connected.
Yeah, when you are in a 1v6, you kind of want some help.
Definitely.
Go for the catch, lots of time on the clock. There's no reason to waste your energy and run it.
Yeah. That 1v6 puts Valkyrie up 2-1. As I wanted to say about Valkyrie, something that may lead a player like Cynthia to go for a grab is that they're very, very good at letting the other team do more work than they have to. Taking those throws on the back line keeps giving burden to Hyper, which allows them to come up and then Valkyrie throw more counters, which means Hyper have to play this up and down game.
And Kirkpatrick with the catch.
Great catch on Pelletier.
Yeah, complete Pelletier.
Pelletier, okay.
And you know,
Big
exactly.
hops from Leaf.
Oh.
Leaf takes out Baird.
But Baird got Lee.
It's a big hit from Baird.
Hyper with 1 ball here.
5 balls spent, so
Right
Leaf
with the
taken
catch.
out. Right makes a grab, bringing Pelletier back in, but Leaf is going to be taken out. 2 balls were spent. She got out of the way of the first one, but the second one was right on target. She also lined out.
But we are back into a 4v4.
1 ball spent each. Valkyrie looks like they're going to play this backline game again, making Hyper come up and down the court, which is definitely exhausting. Especially when you only have 2 players and you have a high volume of throws in those scenarios. It just makes you so tired, and it's a little discouraging sometimes when you're facing 6 players that all they do is throw off the backline, making you do all the work when you want them to do the work.
Absolutely, but you know what? All 4 of these players got a nice long rest in that last point. So they got some gas to spend, to burn.
Straight throw from Cowie, does not connect. Very close to hitting Hyper's right corner in the toes. Three balls spent before no blocking here.
And you see Wright eliminated just before the no blocking begins. So we're going to be in a 4v3. Honestly, not that bad.
Not that bad. Definitely still winnable from Hyper. It's a 4v3, a very, very close set. They need this point. They're down 2-1. I thought I saw 3-1 for a second. 2-1. Definitely going to want to take this tie going into half.
Great shot from Lee to get Cowie.
Good exchange there. There's only 1 point of difference still. Pelletier and Cowie taken off the court.
And you know Flanagan's probably lining up a shot here.
I'm definitely expecting a Flanagan pre-counter. Gets out of the way.
Dead
Flanagan,
ball.
dead ball.
Probably one of the most satisfying parts of the game.
I love seeing throwing, hearing a dead ball. It's very, 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 very satisfying for sure.
Oh, wow.
Sneaky! Flanagan gets Lee to bite. And Kirkpatrick with a big cross.
And that is
so
something
alert.
Kirkpatrick is known for.
Those sneaky crosses. I've definitely been hit a couple times by those
She
That's for sure.
knows how to read a court and see where people's attention is. And Flanagan closes that point, and she takes full advantage of that. And, you know, Lynn is such a Kirkpatrick, is such a tricky player. She knows that other people know she throws a drop shot. So sometimes she'll even bait her own grip so everyone watching goes, oh, it's Lynn throwing, or it's Kirkpatrick throwing. And she's faking it. Someone else is going to take the toss. So you fully expect it. And she's always playing those kinds of mind games, which makes it so hard to figure out where the throw is coming from.
So hard, especially difficult when you're facing off with someone like Jenna Flanagan. Massive arm. You definitely want to pay attention to that straight coming, but having someone as annoying to play against like Lynn, who's very, very accurate with her crosses, it's very, very difficult to deal with. And this is just some of the amazing chemistry from this Valkyrie team that's been together for quite a while now that you really love to see.
Absolutely. And now we're getting into the second half. And Nick, I have to ask, do you have any players that are standing out for you right now?
Definitely Cynthia Lee on Hyper. Definitely. I think Cynthia Lee's been fantastic. Definitely. I can say that so much because Cynthia's movement has been insane in this game, getting fully across the court in more than 1 point in a row, just using all of her space. And even when there's 6 players on the court, it's really difficult to be able to survive, even when you're going across the court, when Valkyrie is going to be throwing 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 balls.
Nick, do you see what I'm just saying? Cowie and Curry were doing the cam on the sidelines. And you might think that, you know, it's the second half, people are getting tired. They've been playing how many games?
Nope.
But noted, Valkyrie has a great, oh yeah, the dancing's going again. They do it strategically, so 2 people sit every match. They don't play that match. So for instance, earlier when I was watching, Doyle and Kirkpatrick did not play against Caffeine & Co.
Interesting.
You know, putting someone on the reserves, giving them that extra rest.
Definitely using the experience to know how to get through a long tournament. Again, Cynthia Lee, surviving till the end, and she has gotten a good number of hits in this game.
And noted, something that we're missing from the Hyper game that I usually associate with a great shot from field is there hasn't been a really catch yet.
No, there's only been, I think we've only seen the one in the first half. Definitely more catches coming out of Valkyrie. I know Sydney Doyle has, I believe she has 2.
And field questioning if she caught that. She thinks she did. Ref is saying yes, it was.
Ref calls it a catch. As we were saying, commentator's curse, I guess.
Commentator's curse, or commentator's blessing.
Commentator's blessing, yeah. There you go. And Hyper got a grab out of that.
Oh, and
Wright takes out Doyle.
Now we have Kirkpatrick in a 3v1, and guess what? She loves this kind of stuff.
Yes, definitely loves 3v1s or solo scenarios.
And you see she tries to throw that drop, but her grip just doesn't quite keep. Hyper's going to have 3 balls. I wonder how many they're going to invest.
Good discipline from Hyper to not spend a lot. Ooh.
They spend all 3.
Well,
I don't mind
I meant
it.
on the counter. Ooh, Cynthia Lee tagged out. Lynn loves this scenario. Has the big arm, has the very, very good movement on the back line.
And is just so fast. You think you might have an opportunity to track down. Wright goes for the catch. Unfortunately, cannot close it. And now it is a 1v1. There's that drop shot.
Nice little sailing drop shot from Lynn. 1v1. I'm assuming Lynn's going to go for a rush down here. There it is. Oh, decides to take the counter. Oh, and
yeah,
doesn't get called out on the line, but Lynn does finish her off.
I do believe the ref was about to call it a line via was trying to.
It definitely looked like it. From here, I think she definitely hit the line there.
I agree.
But as we said, Lynn loves that scenario, that 3v1 where she gets to use her rundowns and take advantage of teams that might not be very, very fast on the backtrack. She uses her survivability so well to aid that really, really good arm and that nasty spin that she can get with that drop shot, and also a slider that I've gotten hit by a couple of times.
Yeah, just such a smart player, and you know, Hyper invested 3 balls. Her package is very hard to hit. I can understand the reason for that, but when you have no balls, you then have to make the choice, and people made the choice to go for catches. In those scenarios, it's probably best to just lateral, get more balls, try it again. you're up the players.
Especially in a point that was probably crucial to this match. Not much time left. I think I'm reading around 6 or 7 minutes. Valkyrie's up 4-1. Cynthia Lee getting a little bit dumpy there.
We see Hyper making the call.
Cynthia takes it straight on Jessica Gray. Four balls, only one spent from Valkyrie. Two, Shade's gonna try to follow up. Cynthia tries to take out Sydney Doyle, but does not connect.
Yeah, just a little bit off. Sometimes when you see two targets there, it's kind of hard to decide, and then you go in the middle.
It's very tempting. That's how you see some doubles happen.
Yeah, true. Leaf making the call.
But is it the right decision when your team has 4 balls and the other team has less? Oh, there we go.
Pelletier with the
Curry
catch.
Gets caught out.
And that's exactly what Hyper needs in this moment. They're in a 4-1 score line. Not impossible, but very difficult. You're going to have to make some 2 quick points to try to get it into no blocking to tie it up.
Shade, good throw on Cynthia Lee. Something that I'm quite surprised about watching this match is that Leaf hasn't been playing the corner as much as I expected, and definitely has a lower volume of throws in this match.
Yeah, Leaf, a very strong play caller, was actually one of the main play callers on the mixed foam team for the World Championships. So that may be why they have her playing in the inside more.
Pelletier makes a good hit on Sydney Doyle there. Valkyrie 4 balls.
And with the time crunch and the point deficit.
Oh, block?
Block, yeah. This may be one.
All right, on your screen right now is the VC MVP player of the match. You guys get to vote for your MVP. For me, it's going to be Cynthia, regardless if Hyper are losing. She survived really, really well until, you know, the commentator's curse comes into effect. Love that. Leaf also gets taken out. 2 big hits from Valkyrie here.
Yeah, Lee has been playing great. I think Doyle has made some really great catches at clutch moments to put Valkyrie in a very confident position. Flanagan also just unrelenting with that kind of pressure and power.
That pressure, that power, and the amount of hits in this game. Nothing, it's something that just can't be understated. Like, being able to kill 2 or 3 players in a set is definitely going to put you in the running for MVP of a game. Shade calls herself out.
Yeah, Berkeley
Jessica
saying,
Gray
I got
alone.
my fingers.
Love the honesty here. So, and it's caught! Hyper win the point. They're down 4-2. I do not know how much time is left on the clock.
3 minutes and 12 seconds.
I'm happy you can see that. I'm not wearing my glasses right now. I cannot see that.
Very fair. So if Hyper can close this before around 37, I believe, or at all.
If they can close this before the time runs out, they can manage to get a tie in this game. They could even win this. This team is fast. Connor Cooper's going to stay alive. First time seeing her in this lineup in this match. Looks like this game, I guess commentators curse again. I didn't see Connor Cooper touch the court until this set. It doesn't look like anybody is going to be sitting the full match on the Valkyrie side for this game, which makes sense. A very important game. You want to use that squad depth in the different roles for sure.
And Valkyrie is up, so if you want to rest some people, totally reasonable. And now Hyper in a situation, right, like they're feeling the crunch. They need to close this. But that also means you don't get desperate. Because that's often when you see people start to make errors. They start to dump balls a little bit more, aka throwing when you maybe shouldn't.
Again, Cynthia moving very far across the court, manages to bait that ball in. But that's, I think, the 3rd throw in a row that she's taken to try to get a hit here. Ooh.
Great hit from Pelletier, right on the shins of Curry.
folding Curry like a pancake. Big counter rush here. They spend a lot. Hyper end up with 2 balls. They spent 2 there.
They may have even spent 3, but they do get Presenti.
Connor Cooper is going to take.
Great shot on So.
Looks like So was going for the grab. Oh, big hit on Wright.
And talk about selling it. I'm sure Wright didn't even see that cross court as a possibility because Kirkpatrick and Flanagan had such great fakes coming at her.
Definitely keeping the eyes that let Connor Cooper take that shot openly. Definitely didn't look like she was expecting it to come out of the hands of Connor Cooper. Flanagan takes it straight on Pelletier. Cynthia's going to try to return on Cowie. In my opinion, that's not the move.
Cowie's just such a great dodger and blocker.
Cowie eats those up. I feel like in this scenario, Cowie just loves seeing that ball come out of Cynthia's hands.
It would be a much more probability shot, in my opinion, for the cross to come into play. The straight on with Cowie isn't working, but maybe Flanagan's distracted, trying to look at Pelletier. Maybe that opens. Maybe let Field take the shot, since Lee has taken it 5, 6 times in a row now.
Again, I'm expecting the ball to come out of Cynthia's hand. No? As you said, Field.
They hear me.
They do. They hear you. 10 seconds left on the clock till no blocking. Doesn't look like Hyper's going to be able to pull out this point. 3 balls. They need 2 hits and a double. They only get the 1 on Jenna Flanagan. Cynthia goes for the grab. Can't get it. And Valkyrie are going to take the win in this game. It's going to be 4-2. Going into no blocking, Hyper still definitely want this point here. Definitely matters for their seeding. As we said, both teams do have a loss. Hyper now have 2, which it's probably likely that another team has a similar record. Every single set matters.
It does, and plus minus always comes into it. That's a great hit on Pelletier. Now Field is alone. Field, again, great catcher. Things can happen. That's a great shot from Kirkpatrick.
Again, Kirkpatrick doing exactly what we talked about.
Yeah, a great game regardless, and I think if you see these teams match up again later on, come playoffs, it'll be a tighter game, especially with the length of playoffs coming into it. And the reality, too, is I think Valkyrie has not played Rainbow Thunder yet either, which is one of the losses that Hyper has. So this pool could still just be a giant game of rock, paper, scissors.
It could be. Definitely a very stacked pool. As we said, we have Valkyrie, we have Hyper. We also have Rainbow Thunder, which I believe also made the semifinal last year. I think that's the team that Valkyrie beat in the bronze medal match.
Yeah, Rainbow Thunder, definitely a strong team. Same thing, they did very well at the thing. And Caffeine & Co. is also in that pool.
Yes.
Which anything can happen with them. They've beat Valkyrie. I personally think they are an under-hyped team. They can go the distance, in my opinion.
Definitely. I think that's a team that could be winning the title this year. Caffeine looked very impressive at the thing. And they, if I'm not mistaken, they were Quebec 1?
Yes, they are Quebec 1, and it's right up. Their provincials was pretty dominant.
Caffeine & Co., another great team to look out for in this women's pool, this A pool, very, very stacked. Coming up next,